In the next few minutes, I'm going to say something that will either offend you or free you. A lot of people are now cursed. They're not unlucky, they're not blocked by the universe. They're leaking power through their mouth. And it's happening so casually, so socially, so automatically that you don't even notice. You can meditate, you can journal, you can visualize, you can pray, you can do everything right. But if your words are careless, your energy becomes careless. If your words are exposed, your plans become exposed. If your words are full of lack, your reality becomes full of lack. People think manifestation is a mystical thing. No, it's practical. You're creating a life every day, and your tongue is one of your main tools of creation. And today, we're going to talk about 7 things you should never tell anyone if you want your life to move with more ease, more speed, more prosperity, more protection. These aren't rules made to make you paranoid. These are principles designed to make you powerful. Because in a world where everyone is broadcasting everything, discretion has become a superpower. Start here. There are secrets that imprison you and secrets that protect you. What most people misunderstand is this: the most dangerous secrets are not the ones you keep, the most dangerous secrets are the ones you can't keep. Because the inability to hold your own inner world is the inability to hold energy. And if you can hold energy, you can hold momentum. You can hold a vision long enough for it to become real. This is why so many people are exhausted. They are emotionally naked everywhere they go. They review everything, explain everything, complain about everything, announce everything, confess everything, post everything. And they wonder why. They feel drained, watched, judged, and stuck. Let me give you a simple metaphor. Imagine you are trying to keep a cup full of water, but the cup has 7 tiny cracks. You can keep pouring water in, and it will never fill. Not because the water is bad, because the container is leaking. These 7 things are the cracks. And here's the part that's going to hit you. You're probably sharing at least 3 of them without realizing it. The good news: the moment you close these leaks, your life feels different, fast. Because your energy stops bleeding into unnecessary places. You stop feeding the wrong people with your frequency. You stop inviting interference into your sacred spaces. So breathe, stay with me, and let's go one by one. Poison number 1: telling people your plans and goals. Let me say this in a way you'll never forget. A plan is not as strong when it's spoken. A plan is strong when it's built. Most people announce their goals too early because they want one thing: validation. They want someone to clap before the work begins. But here's the trap: when you tell people what you're going to do, your brain receives a small dose of reward, like a preview of a success. And that reward can replace the hunger that would have fueled real action. It's like eating appetizers until you lose your appetite for the meal. Now, the spiritual side. A plan is a seed. If you dig a seed up every day to show people, look, it's going to be a tree, it dies. Your goal needs darkness, it needs pressure, it needs consistent internal heat. Now, let's talk about people. Not everyone wants you to win. And the ones who don't want you to win don't show up wearing a villain costume. They show up wearing a smile. They sabotage you with concern. Are you sure that's risky? I saw someone fail at that. Maybe you should wait. The market is saturated. You need more experience. What do you think you are? Or who do you think you are, right? They don't even realize what they are doing sometimes. They're not necessarily evil, but they carry fear like a religion, and fear is contagious. So if your plan is fragile and you expose it to fearful people, your plan will absorb doubt. Here's a very human example. You know that person who's been talking about starting a business for years? Different idea every month, different logo, different name, different partner, different strategy. They don't have a business, they have a story. Because talking became a substitute for beauty. The mouth became the factory. But factories don't run on words, they run on execution. Sage principle: speak to the universe, work in silence, let results make the announcement. Even ancient traditions understood this. Alchemy had a rule: you don't reveal the formula in the middle of transformation, you reveal the gold at the end. Why? Because external interference corrupts internal processes. So here's your commandment: tell fewer people, move with more power. Not because you're afraid, because you're disciplined. Poison number two: talking about your relationship. A relationship is not a public project, it is a living ecosystem. And every ecosystem needs a boundary or it collapses. When you talk too much about your relationship, whether it's good or bad, you invite outsiders into a space that they did not earn. And outsiders always bring something: envy, opinions, comparisons, projections, unresolved trauma. If you talk about your relationship positively, you trigger upward comparison in others. People see your happiness and their mind instantly asks, why don't I have that? And if their ego can tolerate the answer, they attack. Maybe not openly, but subtly, with questions that plant doubt. Is he really that perfect? You trust him that much? She's always on her phone. He goes out a lot. This is how intimacy dies. Not by one big betrayal, but by small seeds of suspicion. Now, if you talk about your relationship negatively, you create an even bigger problem because complaining creates identity. The more you describe your partner as a problem, the more your brain searches for proof. You start noticing only what confirms your complaint. Neural pathways strengthen. And then one day, you're living in a relationship that feels like your own narration. And here's something most people learn too late: you might forgive your partner, but your friends won't. You might reconcile, but your family keeps the file. You create a reputation for the person you love based on your emotional outbursts. Now you're trapped in image. A relationship needs privacy the way fire needs shelter. Sacred fire can cook your food and warm your home, but if you carry it outside, into the wind, it dies. So here's the principle: don't make your love a public spectacle, protect it like a temple. If you need help, seek wise guidance privately, not the group chat, not the friends who thrive on drama, not the family members who already dislike your partner. Your relationship deserves confidentiality, not because it's perfect, but because it's sacred. Poison number three: telling people how much money you make. This one is simple. There is no winning scenario. If you tell people you make little, they may unconsciously disrespect you, pity you, or see you as the struggling one. If you tell people you make a lot, you awaken envy, entitlement, suspicion, opportunities. Suddenly, everyone has an emergency. Suddenly, you become the solution to problems you didn't create. And when you set boundaries, you become selfish. Even worse, people rewrite your story. They can't tolerate that your success may be the result of discipline, so they invent explanations that soothe their ego. You got lucky. You must be doing something shady. You have connections. You must be nice. This reduces your humanity to a number. And it creates a social courtroom where you're always defending your file. Now, the manifestation side. When you talk about scarcity, I'm broke, money disappears, nothing ever works, you are not just describing a moment, you are declaring an identity. Your subconscious hears as a truth. Then it shapes your attention, choices, and behavior around the truth. And soon life starts matching your declaration, not because the universe is punishing you, because your system is aligning to the story you repeat. Silence here is protection. Work quietly, increase skill, increase value, build stability. Let your bank account grow in peace. Money likes privacy, and so does power. Poison number 4, turning your problems into conversation. Your problems are not meant to become entertainment. Some people use complaining as social bonding. They don't realize they are building a prison together. They call it venting. But ask yourself honestly, after you vent, do you feel lighter or do you feel more identified with the pain? Because retelling a problem is like replaying a scene. Each replay strengthens the emotional imprint. It's like watching the same horror movie repeatedly until your nervous system believes danger is your normal state. Now, here's the harsh part, but it's true. Some people secretly enjoy your struggles, not because they're monsters, because it makes them feel safe. At least it's not me, they say. So your pain becomes their comfort, and unconsciously, you become a person who carries the drama. Opportunities avoid you, not because you're bad, because people sense you as heavy, who wants to collaborate with constant crisis. And also, most advice from casual people is contaminated. Things need consolidation. A fruit is sweetest when it matures quietly. So celebrate, yes, but privately. Gratitude is powerful, but broadcasting everything makes you vulnerable. Build stability first, then let people notice naturally. Who wants to collaborate with constant crisis? And also, most advice from casual people is contaminated. They project their own fears into your decisions. You say, I want to do something bold. They respond, if it were me, I wouldn't. They don't mean harm, but their limitations become your cage if you listen. There is a difference between seeking professional help, seeking wise mentorship, and dumping emotional chaos on random people. So here is a sage rule. Share problems only with those who can help you transform them, not those who will help you rehearse them. And sometimes the best thing you can do is silence. Silence creates space. Space creates insight. Insight creates solutions. Be the person who arrives with the breakthrough, not the complaint. Poison number 5, announcing your wins too early. This one surprises people because it feels innocent. You get a new opportunity, a new client, a big breakthrough, a promotion, a new project, and immediately you want to announce it. But early celebration can create early relaxation. Your brain gets dopamine from the praise, and dopamine is tricky. It can make you feel like the job is finished when it's only beginning. And spiritually, announcing wins too early exposes them to interference. Not everyone can hold joy for you without turning it into comparison. Not everyone can witness your rising without feeling their own insecurity. And insecurity leaks. It leaks into comments, suggestions, doubts, jokes. Oh wow, don't mess this up. Let's see how long it lasts. Is careful. Success changes people. That's not support, that's projection. Wings need consolidation. Poison number 6, talking badly about other people. This is one of the most subtle drains of energy because it feels like honesty, just venting, just facts, just my opinion. But listen carefully. The tone that judges is the same tone that creates. When you constantly talk about what's wrong with others, you train your nervous system to scan your flaws. And what you scan for becomes your world. You start living in a reality filled with incompetence, betrayal, stupidity, laziness, and drama, because that's what you keep naming. And the universe mirrors your focus. You think you're separating yourself from them, but you're actually attaching yourself through attention. Judgment is sticky and it makes you heavy. The higher path is observation without poison, discernment without cruelty. You can notice patterns without becoming a messenger of negativity. And here's a deep spiritual rule. What you condemn aggressively, you often end up meeting again through a new face. Because the lesson repeats until you learn neutrality. So ask instead, what does this reveal about me? What can I learn? How can I refine my standards without poisoning my spirit? Spirit's person protects their mind from trash. That includes verbal trash. Poison number 7, telling other people's secrets. This is the final poison because it strikes at the root of integrity. If someone trusts you with vulnerability and you spread it, even just a little, even just to one person, even because it was interesting, you have declared something to your subconscious. I am not safe with power. Because secrets are power. Confidentiality is power. Trust is power. If you can protect a secret, you cannot be trusted with larger responsibilities. Prosperity is built on trust. Trust in business, trust in relationships, trust in community, trust in yourself. And even if no one finds out, you gossip. Your energy changes. You start carrying tension. What if they find out? The nervous villages is poison to your system. Also, when you betray someone's secret, you train reality to betray yours. Because you normalize betrayal, you make it part of your world. So here's the principle: honor vulnerability as sacred. Guards people's secrets like you would guard a treasure handed to you with trembling hands. That is integrity, and integrity is protection. The 7 leaks become 7 seals. Now let's bring it all together. These aren't just communication tips. They are energetic boundaries. They are psychological discipline. They are social intelligence. And when you practice them, something happens. You become less reactive, more stable, more focused. Your life starts moving with less friction because you stop feeding friction. You stop giving outsiders access to your sacred process. You stop turning your future into group discussion. You stop letting your private world become public property. You stop making your nervous system a public restroom where anyone can walk in. You become protected. And protection is not weakness, protection is wisdom. Let me leave you with a final image. Imagine your life is a kingdom. Your mind is the throne room. Your words are the gates. Every time you speak without discernment, you open gates. And not everyone who enters your kingdom comes to build. Some come to steal energy, some come to plant doubt, some come to feed on drama. So, as a sovereign being, you must learn. Not everything needs to be said. Not everyone deserves access. Not every truth needs an audience. Your silence is not emptiness. Your silence is a strategy. Your silence is power. If this message hit you, it means you're ready for a higher level of self mastery. Here at Center of Expansion 5D, we're building a space for people who are done leaking energy, done living exposed, done giving their sacred process to the wrong hands. So if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe to the Center of Expansion 5D and turn on notifications because we're going deeper into the laws of identity, language, frequency, discipline, and creation. And if you know someone who overshares, who keeps being blocked, who keeps losing momentum after speaking too soon, share this video with them. Not to judge them, to protect them, because sometimes the fastest way to change your life is not doing more, it's saying less with more power. So thank you for being here. Love and light from my heart to yours.